This video is brought to you by Regal Metalworks, custom quality fabrication. Find them online at www.regalmetalworks.com. Welcome back to American Arms Channel, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Drake. Today I have a very special guest with me. You've seen their products featured before. We have Cole Regal of Regal Metalworks of New Cumberland, Pennsylvania. Cole, thank you for joining me today.
You're very welcome. I'm happy to be here.
Now, particularly if you're not in the know, you probably know by the titles you've seen on the videos featuring their products, but they make a very nice American-made product for this firearm right here, the Benelli M4/M1014, the king of combat shotguns. Now, I'm just going to hold up one of these fine beauties right here. This is the current production 5-position, which is a very special item, and Cole, we'll let you rattle on about that to your heart's content here in a minute. But guys, being able to have a 5 or a 6 position tube on your Benelli M1014 is just awesome, flat out. But to start off, I guess we should find out who Regal Metalworks is. So, Cole, what do you do at Regal Metalworks?
All right. I'm Cole Regal. I'm the proprietor and the owner of Regal Metalworks. I started the business full-time in 2018. Doing mostly fabrication work, welding and whatnot. We did a lot of high-end welding with stainless steels, titaniums, things like that. And we just kind of moved on and got into machining. And now we're getting into the machining market, and we finally got into firearms. We do a lot of custom products that we make, but we like to design things. Me personally, I like to design tools and make tools that are very useful. And I like making high quality tools that they're just not available in the market. So we got into the firearms just recently because there was a void and a part that was needed for the Benelli shotgun that just was not available. And one guy that works with me, Nate, he owned a 1014. And he brought it to my attention and said, "Hey, we got a machine. We can make this. Do you think I could try and make one of these? I'll design it." And I said, "Sure. Let's see what we can do." He wanted a 3-position. They were just not available, and the prices that they were selling them on eBay was astronomical. So I said, "Sure, why not? Let's try and design one. Draw one up in CAD." So we really enjoy being able to make American products here in America and not outsource them. A lot of people can design and draw things, but they have no idea on how to actually make the product, right? They don't know how to integrate that design into a hard part in their hand. We figured, hey, if we can keep everything in-house from production to finishing, we're way ahead of the bell curve, because if we need to make a change in the product down the line, like we run into an issue or a problem or something where we want to change it because we see how we can improve it, we don't have 1,500 parts sitting on the shelf that we paid to be finished. We can finish them in-house and only make 30 that we may need. So when we need to make a change, it's easy and quick for us to implement.
Well, it sounds like you guys put a lot of research and development work into this. I mean, I know it's something as simple as a tube, but it's really not that simple. I mean, as you're describing, you've got heat treating to make sure it can take the sort of use and abuse that it has to on a 12-gauge Magnum shotgun. It's going on a combat shotgun. So the idea being, if it can be put in the hands of a Marine, it probably should be able to survive quite a bit of abuse. And the finishing, you guys just updating and improving the product and it never affecting the bottom line for the customer, just ends up with a better product. I mean, to me, that just speaks to, that's just quality American manufacturing there. And you guys have a lot of integrity as a company. So since you touched on that, can you go into a little bit about your manufacturing process?
We had to find the right material that worked for us. We had to find the right size, and it had to be commercially available in a manner that we can purchase enough of it to make. Like, we could have we found some metric stock, but it was 3 times the price. It would limit some of our machining. We wouldn't have to do that. But the problem was, it was so limited. Like, I couldn't make hundreds of these things. It'd be like I can make 30, and maybe in 6 months I can make 30 more. That wasn't going to work. We were, we need to figure this out and get it working into the hands. So we settled on that chromoly material. We settled on the size. As you can, anybody that buys one, they'll see it's threaded both on the outside and on the inside on both opposite ends of the tube. So the inside threading is very thin. There's a flat on that wall, and that's how the stock actually goes on. And that's crucial that that is there. So that threading in that flat, it's such a tight tolerance that it took us a while to dial the machine in to get that to work on a consistent basis. There's 3 processes. So the tube has to go through our CNC machine 3 separate operations, 3 separate times. The first time basically is doing the outside profile, doing the grooving, doing the flats. Then the second one is internal threading and an internal ring groove. And then the final app in the CNC machine is we actually have to flip it around and then machine the outside threads. And then, of course, you do see that internal groove where that holds the spring internal to that recoil tube. But we do include that retaining ring. We did find a source that could work with what we had. Yep, and we provide that. It is a 360-degree ring. So it's not a split ring that the factory provides. So it's a little easier to work with, and it works perfect with the groove that we put in, and it just saves you the headache. We wanted to basically not have to, we did not want to have to rely on Benelli to provide the parts. Those 3 steps, it takes us some time to do that. It's quite a bit of machining on the first op. It's very slow. Machining a long tube, it's very difficult to hold it and keep it steady and keep it from chattering. And we figured out a way to actually do that we could repeatedly make that. So we're really happy with that. So once that's done, that product then goes to heat treat. We heat treat that in the areas that need to be heat treated. Then from there, we send it to sandblasting. We have a big industrial blaster. We blast them all by hand. We make sure that every area is blasted on it, so it gives us a raw finish. And from that raw finish, we're able to then apply the finish. That is crucial in the bluing, cold bluing. Anybody that's done cold bluing or even hot bluing, if you do not have a properly prepared part, your finish it's got streaks in it, it's got discolors, it's got shiny parts and dull parts. But that blasting that we use actually gives us a finish where we get a nice matte finish on it, and it gets an even appearance across the whole entire finish. But before we actually finish it, after blasting, it goes to laser. After we do laser engrave them, and it is engraved, so it does not rub off. It's not just burned into the finish. It's in it before we actually finish. So it's engraved down in it, a few thou. And then we actually currently we're like, I was saying we can finish them with bluing. My 91-year-old grandfather actually is responsible for doing all the hand finishing, and he loves doing it. He'll sit there 8 hours a day to finish 8 tubes. It's got several coats on him, and it's hand polished, and he's ecstatic about doing it. I know that's not a viable solution long term. That's why we've been looking into the parkerizing, and I'm really ecstatic with the parkerizing. And he can do the parkerizing. It's safe for him to do, and it's less hand work. But
there's love in the bluing, Cole. There's love in that bluing.
Yeah, there is love in that bluing. When you see the bluing, it's the best blue work I've seen for cold blue. Hot blue is fantastic, but it's so caustic and dangerous. I just don't want to get into it.
Right.
Parkerizing's a lot safer. It's still not the as nice as cold bluing, but it saves a huge amount of time. And there's other things that we could do parkerizing. So it kind of made sense to kind of go that route. That's the route we wanted to go.
Can you give us some insight? Because I know some guys are going to be curious, Regal Metalworks kind of putting themselves on the firearms map by producing this product. What kind of quality of customer service can they expect? Who are they going to deal with?
We don't have some great little firearms name or, that really indicates that's what we do. It's Regal Metalworks. It's my name. We do everything. We make high-end products. We do, high-end fabrication. We do high-end welding. If somebody needs a custom one-off high-end piece, they know they can come to us. We're not in the firearms market, or we dipped our toes in it. I mean, we still bring that all along with us. Like, we don't, yeah, every once in a while something might slip through, we miss something or whatnot. But if you find that you get one of our products and you reach out to me, which my telephone number, my personal telephone number is listed on the business, and you can call it directly. You can email me directly. You can reach out on social media, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. You're going to talk directly to me. I'll respond directly to you in a timely manner. If you say, hey, I got this, something doesn't look right, or I wasn't sure about this, I'm going to respond to you because it's my product. It's my name on the line. And that's how I respond how I feel when I spend my hard-earned money on a product, and I feel like I don't get any response from the manufacturer if there's an issue or just a simple question. But things happen. We get busy. People come in. Something might get missed. But if you call us, we'll take care of you immediately and right away.
We know where the 3 position comes from because that's the military standard. It was a 2, then it became a 3 for the M1014, and that's what Benelli sells. Where did the 5 come from, and where did the 6 come from, and what were your challenges developing these? Because, again, you don't have a technical data package, but they're really off the beaten path now with adding those 2 or 3 positions.
Correct. So what had happened is once we had put them on eBay, I think somebody on the AR-15 forum posted, hey, has anybody seen this product? Do you know anything about it? And we just kind of threw it out there just to kind of get it out. So I was like, hey, Nate, why don't we take a look at the forums and see what's going on? So he did, and he was like, hey, somebody posted something about this. So I was like, why don't you post back and say, try and get some feedback from the community. Say, hey, we understand like a lot of people want this 3 position. We hear that Benelli makes a 5 position. Like, hey, can you give us some feedback on this? And, they're like, hey, it'd be nice to see something, with a little bit more increments on it. So we're like, well, we could do like a 5 position. So I told Nate, I said, why don't we do a 5 position and make it evenly spaced from fully extended to fully collapsed? And it works about every 1.5 inches. I'm like, hey, what do you guys think of this? And they were like, hey, that's great. But, I think we need a little bit smaller increments. We could definitely see the need for the 5 position in even increments. But if you can make one that's closer segmented together, your separations are closer together, I feel like that would be more favorable for certain people, because you would have a much smaller increment of collapsing. So we did, and we designed the 6 position. So we have 5 positions that are 1/2 inch apart from fully extended up to about slightly past, I think, where the 3 position past halfway, and then 6 position is the final collapse. So 5 position recoil tube that we make that's only 5 is evenly 1.5 inch space. So that might be better suited for somebody that has a teenager or a youth that may want to shoot it, that really needs to choke up on it, or if somebody's wearing a plate carrier or something like that where they need that further collapse. So, like, I want to make things that are quality, that people will appreciate, that they'll hold in their hand and they just say, hey, I love having this on there. And we've got quite a bit of feedback from our customers like, dude, I am absolutely stoked about this product and how it's machined and how it feels. I had one guy send me an email. I was like, I wish you would put your logo right up there by the American flag, because I want people to know, and it's very humbling. You're like, well, thanks, but I don't want to promote myself. I just want to promote the great product. And here it is, this little, information's back here on the back end, that the person that really cares, they're going to look there, they're going to see it, and they're going to say, that's why I spent the money on that.
Well, Cole, I really, really appreciate you taking the time this evening to come on here, speak to me, let the fans know, let my viewers know, and anybody who comes across is looking for more information on this cool piece of firearms kit here. So let's let you plug. Where can people who are interested in this product and your other products too, for welding and machine and tool, where can they find you? Where can they find out more information?
So you can find us on the World Wide Web website, regalmetalworks.com. Regal spelled R-E-G-A-L, metalworks.com. And you can see it has a link. I think most of our pictures from Instagram are posted there. But you can go into our shop and you can go and see what we have. We have a lot of tools, welding things that we make. And then the firearms is a very small section that we're slowly going to be expanding here over time. And yeah, you can go check it out there. You can always reach out. You can send an email. You can send a phone call. You can send a text. I mean, I'm easy to get a hold of. And we'll get you the information you need. And we'll, cater to whatever you need, pretty much.
Awesome. Thank you, Cole. As always, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions for myself, you can find me at American Arms Channel at gmail.com. And of course, you can find Cole at regalmetalworks.com and find him online at regalmetalworks.com. As always, guys, God bless. Keep your powder dry. We'll see you next time. Thanks, Cole.